Tinubu has never lost an election.
Is that so?
That is what, historically speaking.
I do not think so. Everybody loses election.
Could 2027 be first for Tinubu?
Yes, and you will see.
That Tinubu can lose 2027?
Tomorrow he will lose 2027.
What gives you that confidence?
Because I know what Nigerians are feeling outside. Tinubu never won the election of 2023. And everybody knows it. Those who want to bet, we said, fine. He has been declared winner. No problem. We acknowledge him as president. No problem. But we're going to meet him in the field.
We have just witnessed one of the most audacious, fearless, and controversial interviews of the year 2025. And it has come from none other than the lion of the Senate himself, Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe. If you thought the political temperature in Nigeria was going to cool down as we inch closer to the midway point of this administration, you were wrong. The senator representing Abia South has not just stirred the hornet's nest, he has kicked it over and dared the bees to come out. Appearing on national television, right in the living rooms of millions of Nigerians, Senator Abaribe looked Seun Okinbaloye in the eye and declared without flinching that President Bola Tinubu did not win the 2023 election, and more importantly, that the magic of a 3 a.m. announcement will not happen again in 2027. This is not just a casual comment from a disgruntled opposition member. This is a sitting senator, a former deputy governor, and a political veteran who understands the weight of his words, essentially telling the world that the current presidency lacks legitimacy in the eyes of the masses. The interview on Channels Television's Politics Today has set the internet on fire this Monday, December 15th, 2025, because it touches on the open wound that many Nigerians are still nursing from that fateful night in 2023. When Seun Okinbaloye, in his characteristic devil's advocate style, tried to remind Abaribe of the president's formidable political history, saying, "They say Tinubu has never lost an election," Abaribe's response was cold, calculated, and dismissive. "Is that so?" he asked. And when Seun pressed further, Abaribe dropped the bombshell. "You will see, he will lose 2027. We need to break down exactly what Senator Abaribe meant by the 3 a.m. announcement, because that phrase is loaded with historical trauma for the Nigerian electorate. He is referring to the early hours of March 1st, 2023, when the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, declared Bola Tinubu the winner while most of the country was asleep. By referencing this, Abaribe is tapping into a very specific sentiment, the feeling of disenfranchisement. He is saying that the victory was not won at the polling units during the day, but was manufactured in the collation center in the dead of the night. For a senator to bring this up now, in late 2025, suggests that the opposition has not moved on. They have not embraced the administration as we thought. Instead, they have been sharpening their knives, waiting for the next battle. But the most chilling part of Abaribe's statement was his confidence regarding 2027. He didn't say, "We hope to win." He said, "We are going to meet him in the field." That phrase, "meet him in the field," is ambiguous and dangerous. In Nigerian political parlance, the field is where the real game is played. It is where the ballot boxes are snatched, where the thugs operate, but it is also where the people mobilize. Abaribe seems to be suggesting that in 2027, the opposition will not be relying on the courts. They will not be writing petitions to tribunals. They will be physically and politically present at the polling units to ensure that what happened in 2023 does not repeat itself. He said, "This time, everybody will be ready. It will no longer be an announcement at 3 a.m. before people will wake in the morning." This implies a level of vigilance and perhaps confrontation that we haven't seen before. Why is he so confident? What gives him the audacity to predict the fall of the Jagaban, a man known for his masterstroke strategies? Abaribe points to the streets. He points to what Nigerians are feeling outside. And let's be honest, he has a point here. The economic reality in Nigeria in 2025 is harsh. The removal of the fuel subsidy, the floating of the naira, and the inflation that followed have left deep scars on the populace. The renewed hope agenda is struggling to convince the man on the street who can barely afford a loaf of bread. Abaribe is banking on this anger. He believes that the hunger in the land is the greatest campaign manager for the opposition. He believes that no amount of political maneuvering can save a president when the people are hungry. As he put it, the masses outside are even more ready. However, we must also look at the other side of the coin. Seun Okinbaloye raised a valid point about Tinubu's history. The man is a survival. He survived the military, he survived the Obasanjo era, he survived the internal wars of the APC to clinch the ticket, and he survived the 2023 election. To underestimate him is a rookie mistake. Abaribe's dismissal, everybody loses elections, everybody, might be technically true, but Tinubu has a way of turning losses into wins. The machinery of the state is powerful. In 2027, Tinubu will be the incumbent. He will have the power of the incumbency, the security agencies, and the treasury at his disposal. Can a fragmented opposition really take him on in the field? This brings us to the question of the opposition itself. Abaribe is currently in Afga, having left the PDP. The opposition is scattered across the PDP, the Labour Party, and the NNPP. Unless there is a massive realignment, unless the field Abaribe talks about is a united front, it's hard to see how they can dismantle the APC machine. But perhaps Abaribe knows something we don't. Perhaps there are talks going on behind the scenes to form a mega coalition that will present a single front in 2027. His confidence suggests that there is a plan, a strategy that goes beyond just hoping for the best. The reaction to this interview has been instant. Supporters of the president are calling Abaribe a wailer and a bad loser who is trying to incite the public. They argued that the Supreme Court settled the matter of 2023 and that dragging it up now is disrespectful to the judicial process. They say that 2027 is still far away and that the president's reforms will start yielding fruit by then. On the other hand, the Obedience and the Atiku supporters are jubilating. They see Abaribe as a hero who is speaking truth to power. They feel vindicated that a high-ranking official is validating their long-held belief that the mandate was stolen. One thing is certain. The drumbeats for 2027 have started early. Usually, politicians wait until the election year to start throwing heavy punches, but Abaribe has thrown a grenade 2 years in advance. This signals that the next election will be a do-or-die affair for the political class. The opposition feels that if they allow Tinubu to secure a second term, they will be finished. The ruling party knows that if they lose power after just one term, it will be a humiliation of epic proportions. The stakes could not be higher. I want to pause here and ask you, the viewer, what you make of this 3 a.m. narrative. Do you agree with Senator Abaribe that the 2023 election was flawed because of the timing of the announcement? Or do you think it is time for the opposition to move on and focus on governance? And when he says, meet him in the field, does that sound like a democratic promise or a threat to chaos to you? You need to let me know in the comments because this is the discussion that will define our politics for the next 2 years. Also, consider the implication for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Abaribe is essentially saying that the people have lost faith in the institution. If a senator believes that the only way to get a fair result is to meet in the field, it means the referee is seen as compromised. This is dangerous for our democracy. If the referee is not trusted, the players will take the laws into their own hands. We saw glimpses of this in 2023, but 2027 could be on a whole different level if trust is not restored. Senator Abaribe also touched on the resilience of the Nigerian people. He said, if you do an election today, you know what will come up. He is challenging the president to test his popularity. It's a bold dare, but in politics, popularity is not the only currency. Strategy, structure, and stamina matter just as much. The senator is banking on the anger of the people. The president is banking on the resilience of his structure. Who will blink first? We're going to keep a very close eye on how the presidency responds to this. Will the special advisors on media fire back? Will they dig up Abaribe's own political past? The war of words has just begun. This interview might just be the opening shot of the 2027 campaign. If you're enjoying this analysis and you want to stay ahead of the political curve in Nigeria, you need to smash that like button right now. It helps us get this video to more Nigerians who are hungry for the truth. And please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. We don't just read the news here, we break it down so you understand how it affects you. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the next update on this developing story.